Welcome back. Welcome back at Joki Animation. Yesterday we looked at introduction to animation. We looked at 2D animation, and today we are going to do something else very different. And I know it will be okay. You're still on the introduction part, the beginning part of Blender, the introduction part of animation. And I know with time you go and find, get to know these concepts, and I know within some month you'll be in a position whereby you can be able to do your own project. Yeah, it is possible if you can be able to follow all these videos. I gave you a homework last time. I told you to look at different shortcut keys which you use in Blender, and they are very many, and they make you okay. When I say they are very many, I'm not saying that they are difficult to understand. Can they get me right on that? There are so many, but it's good for you to get the main one, which I know they will make your life to be so easy on Blender. I'm going just to touch on just 2 or 3 so that we can be able to go to another step. I want us to do today something else, and so that you can be able to grasp what is Blender. So let me record. Yeah, I've started recording. So this is my Blender. It looks like this. As I told you, when you want to get now into it, you just click Inject at the end. Don't click inside here, just there. It will escape. The pop-up menu will go away, and you'll be left with a cube. Yesterday we are calling it box because it was introduction. It is a cube, and I show you other mesh that we'll be using in Blender. We have a camera, and we have a source of light. And I told you yesterday how we can be able to click from one to the other. And the moment it shows color yellow, it means it is selected. And yet we can be able to look at its properties over here. Properties, settings, they are the same thing. I'm not going to talk more about that because yesterday we talked about it so much. And if you are new in this video, kindly make sure you have seen the previous video before you come to this. But if you at least you're not that a beginner in Blender, you can start over here because this still is introduction. Let's come back now to business. Shortcut keys. We have different types of shortcut keys. I'm going to look, if you have somewhere to write, you can be able to write. You can be writing as we go by. We have a shortcut keys that can help you when you're adding an object. And before we go to adding an object, let us start with deleting an object. You want to delete an object from a scene. Maybe you want to delete this cube. So first of all, you have to select it like this. You select the cube, then you press X and make sure the cursor is inside this layout, this box. If it is over here, when you press X, it will do what you want it to do. If it is over here, it will do what you want it to do. So you have to, the cursor has to be inside here, no matter the position where it is. When you click X, it will bring a delete pop-up menu. Just click it and it will delete that box or that cube. If you want to return it, if you deleted it by a mistake and you want to return it into the scene, you can just click Command Z or Control Z, depending on the laptop that you're using. Mine is Command Z, but most of the computer is Control Z. When you press Control Z, it will come back. When you press X, it will go away. I hope I'm making sense there. So we have looked at X as a shortcut key. We have looked at Command Z or Control Z. I hope you are writing somewhere. Control Z, it is to undo. You have deleted, you want to undo. Okay. What if you want to delete everything? You see, like now I want to delete this camera, and also I want to delete this lamp. So can you see what I'm seeing? When I select camera, the lamp is losing its selection power. When I select the source of light, the camera is losing its selection power. But if I want to select both of them, so what you can do to select both of them, make sure first of all you select one item, and then click Shift. You hold. Let me talk about hold without releasing the Shift. Then come here to the camera and select it again. So we'll have 2 selected items. And again, look at the color of this camera and look at the color of this lamp. This tells you that our camera, which was last selected, is the active. And okay, both of them are active, but this one is which is the most active, the present, which have been selected now. So if I click, now I want you to write another, and when I click X and delete, they will go all of them. Have you seen that? So I want to do something else. I want to add an item. If I want to add an item, I can come over here at add, click, and go through, this add mesh, and I can be able to add, we have a plane. Okay, it has already added itself. I wanted to show you different kind of meshes. We have a plane, we have a cube, circle, UV sphere, icosphere, cylinder, cone, torus, grid, monkey. You see, if I want to add an item, I'm coming on top here and click this menu, add. But look at what that menu is telling me. There's a shortcut, which is shift, that arrow which is looking up. That's a shift A. So let us press shift A. When you press shift A, it brings you the menu. So that's a shortcut key for bringing up additional object when you want to add an object. So when you press shift A, you hold shift without releasing and you press A to bring you this pop-up item menu. You can be able to add any item that you want to add. Want to view it from perspective view. Remember these settings, we discussed about them when you are starting this course. You can be able to hover around to look at those items. I want to add another item, shift A. Let me add a cylinder. I use cylinder. Okay, put it here. I'm going to talk about them, what I've done there later. So look at this. I have 3 items, and you have seen I've switched from here. This is just a selection mode to here, directional mode. With this direction, we have 3 axes. That's why it's called 3D. When you talk about 3D, that means you have 3 dimensions. You must have 3 axes. We have X, the red one. We have the green. This is the Y axis, and Z, the blue one, which points upward. It's the Z, 3D, 3 dimension. So if you want to relocate this object upward, you just click at that arrow and pull it up. If it is down, you pull it down like that. Okay, if you want to take it maybe along X and Y axis, you can just click the Y axis and you'll be able to move along the Y axis very easily. You've seen what I've done. But what if you want to, you don't have to click this X every time you want to move. There's another shortcut keys that I want to show you, G. You click G and your item, when you play with your mouse, you will see your item is freely moving. You can see that, what's happening? G. And what if you want to move it along a given axis? Just click maybe X, Y, or Z. I'm going to repeat what I've done again. I've clicked escape to go back to default, to where the object was. When you click G, without double clicking it, you see I've not when you click it again, it will go to another position. Let me click Ctrl Z to undo what I've done. You see, now you have started seeing what I'm talking about. Now you have started using the shortcut keys. I've pressed Ctrl Z to undo what I've done. So G, when you move using G and click again, it will go to another location. Ctrl Z, I want to go back to where I was. But when you click G, and you can release, I've released, you can also play with it, and you don't want to go actually to that location, you can click escape and it will go back to where it was, because I have not locked it to the new position. Easy. I know now you're getting excited as we are going. Where was I? I was telling you, when you click G and you want to move it on a specific axis, you just click the axis that you want it to go. Maybe X, Y, or Z. As easy as it is that. We are going to look at those maybe when we'll be dealing in modeling, and I know you'll appreciate it. You'll say, okay, let me just click my escape because I want my objects to remain at the same position. What else did I want to teach you? Let us also concentrate on G. When you click G 2 times, there is something that will happen. You click G the first time, G the second time. Your object will be able to rotate in all angles without moving. Let me show you. Click G and click again G. Oh, sorry, not G. I'm very sorry. G is just for moving. I'm very sorry. I had confused some. Okay, let us go to. I've shown you about moving. That is G. What if you want to rotate? You have seen where we rotate. This is manual rotation without using the shortcut key. But rotation now, when you have that, you can be able to rotate along X. You see what I'm doing? Because I don't want. Okay, let me just release Y or Z. You just come to this blue and you can be able to rotate along Z. I want it to go back to where it was. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. See, now you're appreciating now what you're doing. Ctrl Z is to undo. You can undo as many times as possible. What if I want to rotate it using a shortcut key without using this axis? That's where I was coming to. You can press R. Rotate it freely without any axis. If you want to rotate it within a given axis, maybe Y, you can press Y and it will rotate along Y without being interfered by any axis, Z or X, without being interfered. The moment you finish rotating, just click it and it will be on that position. Ctrl Z. I wanted to go back to the way it was. I was talking about double clicking. I confused with G and R. I was telling you about double clicking G, but instead I was talking about double clicking R. So what if we double click R? I want to show you something very interesting. You see, it has given us those 4 arrows. Now you can be able now to play with it in all directions. And we'll come to see the kind of live animation that we do using the double click of R. What if you want to duplicate this item? I want now to be fast because I see time is not on my side. What if you want to duplicate this item? Shift D and you duplicate that item. I'm moving it. If you want to move along Y, that like the way we are doing by clicking G, along X, along Z, very easy. Okay, I've duplicated that. What if you want to delete it? I showed you how to delete. X, delete. What else do you want to see if we can be able to? What if you want to scale? Sorry, I didn't talk about scale. Let me scale this one. You just click S and pulling away the axis, that 2 arrows away from the object, it is going to magnify. It's going to scale out our object. When you put it towards the item, it's going to scale down our object. So escape because I want it to remain within how it was. But if I want to make it big, then I can lock it up there. No, that's our sphere, very big. Those are shortcut keys. I've shown you R for scaling. I've shown you G for moving. You can move along different axes. I've shown you S. And something that I didn't tell you about S, you can maybe also to scale along axis, maybe S, and then click maybe along Z. It will scale along Z only. If it is along Y, it will scale along Y. If it's along X, it will scale along X. Then let me click escape so that we can go back to default. I've shown you scaling, rotation. Also, there's something that we always do. Maybe we want to scale along 2 axes without interfering with one axis. Like maybe I want to scale this cube along X and Y axis without interfering with that with Z. I know this is a bit advanced to you, but I know the moment you do mock practice, you'll come to appreciate what you're doing. So you just click S and then click Shift Z. Z is to mean that I don't want to scale along Z axis. I want it to scale along X and Y, exclusion Z. So when I pull out, you can see what's happening. It is scaling outward. What if we had pressed S and then we said Shift Y? So Y will be excluded. It will scale along X and Z, like so. So you are saying like the Y, the green line, nothing is happening. It's only scaling along X and Z. What else do you want to learn today? Because I know you did your homework. The last thing that I'm going to talk about today, okay, before I go to that, let us talk about selection. I told you how to select two objects. You can be able to press one object, press Shift, hold Shift without releasing, press another object, without releasing Shift, press another object, without releasing Shift. You know, the moment you release Shift and select another object, it is going to unselect the other objects. Have you seen like that? But the moment you are holding Shift, you are selecting all of them, and you can be able to do what I was doing. You can be able to press G and move them. You can be able to press S and move them and scale them. I'm pressing Escape to go back to normal. You can be able to rotate them. I'm pressing another Escape. Rotation is R. I hope you have written somewhere. So you can be able to do all that what I was doing. You can also to do X and delete all of them, as simple as that. But you can also do Ctrl Z to bring them all. Undo. You have deleted, you want to bring them back. Maybe you deleted by a mistake. That is easy. What else do you want to learn? I'm sorry I did not plan for this lesson because I knew today I'm just going to teach about the shortcut keys. Okay, let me touch on the last shortcut keys, which is called hide. Maybe you're working on a large project and you want to hide some of objects because maybe they are interfering with your work. Maybe you are working on this. You see how these cylinders are interfering. Let us assume these cylinders are all over, and you want just to work on this cylinder. You want just to work on the cube. So what you can do, you can press this cylinder, press H to hide it. You can also press this one, and also press this one holding Shift, the cylinder and the sphere, and also press H. You can hide as one or hide as many, and you remain with your own box or cube. If you want to unhide, we normally click Alt H. If your laptop is Alt H, they will unhide. Mine is a MacBook. You're talking about Option H. Yeah, Option H. If yours has Alt, I don't know if Alt is an alternative. You can just click Alternative H. Mine is Option H. So if yours is Option H, that is how to unhide. What if you have so many objects? Can you imagine clicking one by one to hide them? The other way that you can do is to click the item that you want to remain with. You click the item that you want to remain with and click Shift. You hold Shift and click H. So you have told the computer, I want to remain with this object. Remember, when you are hiding the other objects, you're just clicking H to hide. You select that item and hide. But what if you want to remain with one object and you have so many objects? So just click that object, or maybe those a class of objects. Maybe you have, let me show what I'm talking about. Maybe you want to remain with this one and this one. You want to hide these which are not selected. I hope you are following how we are selecting those two without you click one, Shift, you click the other one. I like repeating myself so that you can be able to understand. I want you to understand everything. So the moment you select those, you click Shift H, and those who are not selected, they will disappear. But when you click H alone, the one which are selected, they are the one which will disappear, or they are the one which will be hidden. And when you look at these options here at our outliner, remember I told you this outliner, you can see these are eyes. You can see these are eyes. So these eyes are closed. So if you want to unhide them, also there is this option of unhiding them by clicking these eyes. You see? So you can hide them using by clicking here. Or the way I've shown you using the shortcut keys. You know, these shortcut keys they are here to make your work easier. They're here to make your work very easy, comfortable doing your projects, and making everything you're making you feel good doing projects. Yeah. Let me unhide them. Sorry. We told to unhide is Alt H or Option H. Okay, what if you want to select everything? You can select everything using 3 ways. You can press A and select everything. Remember, if you want to delete, X and delete. You don't want to delete. You can select using box selection, where you click B and then click the mouse and drag, and it will select all of them. You can also select by using Command C, and you can be able now to. I don't have a mouse. I don't know if it will. Okay. If yours will be able to do that, you can select C and select as a circle. We select that when you are doing faces. That's our next lesson. We'll see the object mode. We look at various types of object mode, edit mode, cut mode, and we'll be able to actually do a small modeling. This time we'll do low poly. So our next lesson we'll do low poly modeling. We look at different modes of an object, and we'll go as far as coloring it, putting up some materials, but will not render. So our next lesson come very ready to do some modeling here and there. We'll create some chairs, maybe a tree. It will be a surprise. So come ready. Today I was just looking at the assignment that I gave you last time, shortcut keys, and kindly make sure the next class, when we'll be doing those kind of object modes and modeling here and there, we will be using those kind of shortcut keys. So make sure you have written them somewhere, you have practiced, so that next time it will be easier for you. So thank you so much. Kindly, if you are new here and you have not subscribed, make sure you have subscribed to this channel, because we want to grow as many animators as possible, especially here in Kenya or penye huko. That's why sometimes naongea Kiswahili, because I know I want most of our Kenya community animation iko chini, is a bit low, so I want us to move together, and I will making this video to make sure that everyone gets a choice to learn. And kama mtu hataki kusoma, well and good, but I want this opportunity to be here for you. Siku nasema there was no opportunity for me to learn. So make sure you subscribe, so that every time I upload a new video, you can be able to follow, and also you can be able to be part of us in each and every step that we go. In the details, in the description, I will be leaving my number, so that if you have any inquiry, you can just WhatsApp me direct, and I can be able to help you wherever you are. Remember, I have an experience of 6 years in Blender. I can do any project now. So don't feel any fear of contacting me. Me nasemanga, knowledge is power, and knowledge is to be shared. So I don't like the time when I will be closing my eyes at nimekufa, and I have a lot of knowledge that I could have given as many people as possible, nikufe nayo. I want everyone to have their own share. Use it wisely, and maybe make some cash with it. Thank you so much. See you next time. Be ready for modeling. Be ready for edit mode, object mode, sculpt mode, and we look at so many things that I know you will like. Thank you so much.